Hello, and welcome to Great Sleep. Get ready to listen and relax. Today I'm going to tell you a Christmas story about a cozy Christmas Eve with friends. Emma Thompson was a warm-hearted woman with a love for all things cozy. Her quaint cottage nestled in the picturesque town was like something out of a fairy tale, especially during the winter months when it was covered in a blanket of snow. The soft glow of twinkling lights adorned the exterior, casting a warm and inviting ambience. Emma's cottage was known throughout the town as a haven of comfort and hospitality, and it was on this magical Christmas Eve that her home truly came alive. As Emma stepped outside her cottage, she couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation in the air. The snow crunched beneath her boots as she made her way to the mailbox, retrieving the holiday cards and invitations that had arrived. With a smile on her face, she opened each envelope, reading the heartfelt messages and well wishes from friends near and far. With a cup of steaming hot cocoa in hand, Emma sat by the window, gazing out at the winter wonderland that surrounded her cottage. The snowflakes danced in the air, creating a mesmerizing display of beauty. She savored the comforting aroma of the cocoa, feeling the warmth spread through her body. Emma loved this time of year, where everything seemed to slow down and people embraced the joy of simple pleasures. Emma's passion for creating memorable experiences for her loved ones was evident in every detail of her cottage. The cozy living room was adorned with plush blankets and pillows, inviting anyone who entered to sink into their soft embrace. The fireplace crackled with warmth, casting a gentle glow that illuminated the room. The shelves were filled with books and board games, ready to be enjoyed by friends gathered around the hearth. Emma woke up early on Christmas Eve morning, feeling the excitement bubbling within her. She slipped out of bed and padded into the kitchen, where she began her morning routine. The scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air as she ground the beans and prepared a pot. As the rich aroma wafted through the cottage, Emma's spirits lifted even higher. With her coffee in hand, Emma moved to the living room, where she sat in her favorite armchair by the window. She wrapped herself in a cozy blanket, feeling its softness against her skin. The world outside was still and peaceful, the snow-covered landscape stretching as far as the eye could see. Emma took a moment to breathe in the tranquility, savoring the serenity of the morning. As she sipped her coffee, Emma's mind buzzed with ideas for the evening ahead. She wanted to create a truly magical experience for her friends, one that would fill their hearts with joy and warmth. Emma had always been a firm believer in the power of creating cherished memories, and this Christmas Eve was no exception. With her morning coffee finished, Emma set to work on inviting her close friends to her cozy Christmas Eve gathering. She carefully selected each invitation, taking into account their unique personalities and interests. Emma knew that her friends were just as excited about the holiday season as she was, and she couldn't wait to share this special evening with them. As she sealed each envelope with care, Emma couldn't help but smile at the thought of her friends' reactions when they received their invitations. She knew they would be thrilled to join her in celebrating the magic of Christmas in her cozy cottage. With the invitations sent, Emma turned her attention to preparing her home for the evening. She adorned every corner of her cottage with festive ornaments, twinkling lights, and garlands of fresh pine. The scent of cinnamon and cloves filled the air as she hung wreaths on the doors and placed candles on every surface. The cottage was transformed into a winter wonderland, ready to welcome her friends with open arms. Next came the planning of the holiday feast. Emma pored over cookbooks and recipe cards, carefully selecting dishes that would warm her friends' hearts and bellies. She made a list of ingredients and set off to the local market, where she carefully selected the freshest produce and finest cuts of meat. Back at her cottage, Emma spent the afternoon chopping, stirring, and baking. The kitchen was a flurry of activity as delicious aromas filled the air. She couldn't wait to see the smiles on her friends' faces as they indulged in the festive feast she had prepared. As the evening approached, Emma's friends began to arrive at her cozy cottage one by one. Each friend brought their own contribution to the celebration, whether it was a bottle of wine, a homemade dessert, or a heartfelt gift. The air was filled with laughter and excitement as they embraced and expressed their joy at being together. First to arrive was Sarah, a bubbly and outgoing woman with a love for all things sparkly. She brought a bottle of champagne to kick off the evening's festivities. Next came James, a kind-hearted soul with a passion for music. He brought his guitar and a song he had written especially for the occasion. Emma's childhood friend, Lily, arrived next, her arms laden with beautifully wrapped gifts for everyone. Lily had always been known for her thoughtfulness and generosity. And finally, there was David, a quiet and contemplative man who had a knack for making people feel at ease. He brought a box of freshly baked cookies, still warm from the oven. As each friend entered the cottage, Emma enveloped them in a warm hug, feeling the love and warmth radiating from their embrace. The cottage seemed to come alive with their presence, as if it had been waiting for this moment all year long. They gathered around the crackling fireplace, their faces illuminated by its gentle glow. As the friends settled into their cozy nooks around the living room, the conversations began to flow. They shared stories from their childhood Christmases, reminiscing about the magic and wonder of those long ago days. Each friend's tale was filled with nostalgia and laughter, highlighting the power of shared memories. Sarah spoke of her family's annual Christmas tree decorating tradition, where they would play holiday music and dance around the living room, hanging ornaments and singing carols at the top of their lungs. James shared how his grandmother would bake dozens of cookies, and he would spend hours helping her decorate them with colorful icing and sprinkles. Lily's eyes sparkled as she recalled the excitement of waking up on Christmas morning to find a trail of glitter leading to a pile of presents under the tree. And David spoke softly of his own childhood memories, of sitting by the fire with his parents, sipping hot cocoa and listening to his father read Christmas stories. As they listened to each other's stories, Emma couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the friendships that had stood the test of time. These were the people who had been by her side through thick and thin, who had shared in her triumphs and supported her during her darkest moments. They were her chosen family, and she cherished each and every one of them. With hearts full of nostalgia and laughter still ringing in their ears, Emma suggested they engage in some cozy activities to further deepen their bond. The friends eagerly agreed, excited to create new memories together. They gathered around the kitchen island, donning aprons and rolling up their sleeves to decorate cookies. Emma had prepared an array of shapes and sizes, along with bowls of colorful icing and an assortment of sprinkles. As they squeezed icing onto the cookies and adorned them with festive designs, laughter filled the air. The cookies were far from perfect, but they were made with love, and that's what mattered most. After the cookie decorating, they moved to the living room, where James strummed his guitar and led them in singing their favorite Christmas carols. Their voices blended harmoniously, filling the cottage with joyous melodies. The fire crackled in time with the music, casting dancing shadows on the walls. As the evening wore on, they gathered around the coffee table for a friendly game of Scrabble. The tiles clinked as they were placed on the board, words forming and points accumulating. The competition was lighthearted, with plenty of teasing and laughter. The game brought out their playful sides, reminding them of the joy that could be found in simple moments. As the night grew late, Emma suggested they take a moment to reflect on the true meaning of Christmas and express their gratitude for their friendship and shared experiences. They formed a circle around the fireplace, holding hands and closing their eyes. In turn, each friend shared what they were grateful for. Sarah expressed her gratitude for the laughter and joy that Emma's cozy cottage had brought into her life. James spoke of his gratitude for the unwavering support he had received from these friends throughout the years. Lily's voice trembled with emotion as she expressed her gratitude for the love and acceptance she had found within this circle of friends. And David, always a man of few words, simply said, "I am grateful for each and every one of you." Tears glistened in Emma's eyes as she listened to their heartfelt words. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing that she had brought so much happiness into their lives. These were the moments that made all the planning and preparation worthwhile. Just as the friends were about to break their circle, there was a knock at the door. Emma's eyes widened in surprise, for she hadn't been expecting any more guests. She hurried to open the door, and her heart skipped a beat when she saw who stood on her doorstep. It was Emma's estranged sister, Olivia, whom she hadn't seen or spoken to in years. Olivia had always been the free-spirited one, constantly seeking adventure and never one to settle down. Emma had often felt overshadowed by her sister's vibrant personality, and their relationship had suffered as a result. But as Emma looked into Olivia's eyes, she saw a glimmer of vulnerability and longing. Without a word, she opened her arms and pulled her sister into a tight embrace. Olivia's tears mingled with Emma's as they stood on the doorstep, their hearts slowly mending the wounds of the past. As Olivia entered the cottage, tension hung in the air. The friends exchanged uncertain glances, unsure of how this unexpected guest would fit into their cozy gathering. Emma knew that this was a pivotal moment, one that could either strengthen their bonds or tear them apart. Over the course of the evening, moments of tension arose as old wounds were reopened and grievances were aired. Emma's friends felt protective of her and were wary of Olivia's sudden appearance. They voiced their concerns, expressing their worry that Olivia would once again overshadow Emma and disrupt the harmony they had all found together. Emma listened to their words with an open heart, understanding their fears and frustrations. But she also saw something in Olivia that they couldn't yet see, a genuine desire for reconciliation and a longing to be a part of something meaningful. Despite the tension that lingered, Emma was determined to create a space where everyone could come together and celebrate the magic of Christmas. She suggested they share their unique traditions, hoping to create a sense of unity and belonging. As they went around the circle, each friend shared a cherished tradition from their own family. Sarah spoke of the annual Christmas Eve game night that her family held, where they would gather around the dining table, playing board games and sharing laughter late into the night. James shared how his family would have a candlelight vigil on Christmas Eve, where they would light candles and take a moment to reflect on the true meaning of the holiday. Lily spoke of her family's tradition of baking gingerbread houses together, each family member creating their own masterpiece. David's voice was soft as he described his family's tradition of writing letters to Santa, expressing their hopes and dreams for the coming year. And Olivia, with tears in her eyes, shared how she had always felt like an outsider during Christmas and longed for a sense of belonging. As each friend shared their tradition, the tension in the room began to dissipate. They realized that despite their differences, they all longed for the same thing, a sense of connection and belonging. As the evening wore on, Emma had one final surprise up her sleeve. She disappeared into another room and returned with a beautifully wrapped gift for each of her friends. The anticipation in the room grew as they unwrapped their presents, revealing personalized mementos that spoke to their unique personalities and shared memories. Sarah received a sparkling necklace, symbolizing her vibrant and joyful spirit. James unwrapped a handcrafted guitar pick, engraved with a heartfelt message of gratitude for his music. Lily's eyes filled with tears as she opened a locket containing a photo of her late grandmother, a reminder of the love that had shaped her. David received a leather-bound journal, its pages waiting to be filled with his thoughts and musings. And Olivia's gift was a handmade scrapbook filled with photos and memories from their childhood, a testament to the bond they had once shared. As each friend held their gift in their hands, they couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with gratitude for Emma's thoughtfulness and love. The room was filled with tears and laughter as they expressed their appreciation, their hearts overflowing with love for one another. As the night drew to a close, the friends bid farewell, promising to continue their cherished traditions and create new memories together. They hugged each other tightly, feeling the warmth of their embrace and the love that surrounded them. Emma watched as her friends walked out into the winter night, their laughter and voices fading into the distance. She closed the door behind them, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. The cottage was quiet once again, but it was not empty. It was filled with the echoes of laughter, the warmth of friendship, and the love that had been shared throughout the evening. Emma sat by the fireplace, the crackling flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. She reflected on the success of the evening, feeling fulfilled by the joy she had brought to her loved ones. As she sat there, surrounded by the warmth and love of Christmas, she couldn't help but feel a deep sense of contentment. The magic of Christmas had worked its wonders once again, bringing together old friends and healing old wounds. Emma knew that this night would forever be etched in their memories, a reminder of the power of love and friendship. And as she sat there, basking in the glow of the fire, she couldn't help but feel grateful for the cozy cottage that had brought them all together in this winter wonderland.